Okay, for this example, the player has selected instant action. They are presented with a mech, mathematic problems to be solved in front of the mech, and we are presented with symbols around in the cockpit of the player's mech. The player can click on the number and drag it into a position to complete an equation, and also click and drag in a symbol to complete an equation. The other thing the player can do within the time limit is also swap the colors of the hexagons by using his hexagons on the side. So he clicks and drags them into position. Now the player's goal is to complete math equations and also get the best color combination they can find that links up for more points and damage to the opponent. The opponent's damage bar is indicated by the green and red bar in the top left corner, and on the top right corner is the time limit, which will be slowly ticking down, indicated by the light white and blue color, as the blue color slowly will drop. Over to the next screen, the player has completed their first equation, which is the 1 plus 1 equals 2. They have also used two of their red colors to enhance the equation loop. As we can see, 1 plus 1 equals 2 is all red. Now moving on to the next screen, the player has now completed another equation of the 2 plus 3 equals 5, and have also used some of their green colors to have a green link for additional bonus points. And then moving on to the final screen here, the player has connected a 2 plus 2 equals 4 and have used their yellow weapon systems to create a yellow link on this. Thus this would complete the equations, and then the player can fire. When the player fires, the opponent mech will take damage and they will score points. What will happen then is the player will be in the defensive and will be blocking attacks coming from the opponent. In the defensive phase, the player can reduce incoming damage by completing the same sequence of completing equations and colors with their shield system. So the hexagons will change to their colors of their shields, and then they will look for the best combinations. The better combinations they make in defense will lower the damage coming in. So the idea of the game is that within a time limit you have to complete equations on the offense to score damage and points on the opponent, and then on the defense you are completing equations to lower the damage coming in from your opponent. This sequence will loop backwards and forwards until one of either the other robot or the player's robot is victorious. This is the additional screen. When the player scores points, they can then use these points to customize their robot if they wish, or they can select a button for auto customization, where the game will select the best options according to what the computer thinks the robot should be customized to, if they wish, allowing them to jump straight into the action. In between missions, the players spend points to enhance their robot and to complete the mission ahead. On this screen we can see some examples of opponents the player can go up against, and then moving on to the final screen we see the original concept art for the game, capturing the excitement of robot combat in the future and completing mathematical problems to defeat your opponent.